a seminar on the power of daily discipline. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'm glad you're here, because if you're here, it means you care about progress. And progress is a fascinating subject. Most people want dramatic change. They want transformation. They want the breakthrough. But what they don't understand is this: breakthroughs are public. Consistency is private. And life responds to what you do privately. Not occasionally, not emotionally, but consistently. Let me start with something simple. Success is not built in a day. It is built daily. That's a big difference. You can't eat one healthy meal and expect a healthy body. You can't read one book and expect a transformed mind. You can't make one sales call and expect a thriving business. It is not intensity that changes your life. It is consistency. The myth of motivation. Now, people often say, Jim, I just need more motivation. No, you don't. Motivation is temporary. It's like taking a shower. You feel good, but it doesn't last. That's why you need it regularly. But discipline is structural. Motivation gets you started. Consistency keeps you going. And the marketplace does not reward enthusiasm. It rewards consistency. Your family does not benefit from your good intentions. They benefit from your steady presence. Your body does not respond to your inspiration. It responds to your habits. The power of small acts. Let me ask you a question. How much exercise does it take to be healthy? Not extreme exercise, just enough. How much reading does it take to stay sharp? Not 10 hours a day, just enough. How much saving does it take to build wealth? Not everything you earn, just enough. Small amounts, repeated. Here is what most people underestimate. Small disciplines, compounded over time, create massive results. And small errors, compounded over time, create disaster. Consistency works both ways. It builds or it destroys. The farmer's lesson. If a farmer goes out and plants seeds for 1 week and then decides he doesn't feel like farming anymore, what happens? Nothing grows. You cannot plant occasionally and harvest consistently. The law of the harvest says, you reap what you sow, you reap later than you sow, and you reap more than you sow. But only if you keep sowing. The soil does not reward enthusiasm. The soil rewards consistency. And life is very much like soil. The gap between start and finish. Most people are excellent starters. They attend the seminar, they buy the book, they write the goals, they join the gym, and then they disappear. Because somewhere between start and finish is monotony. And monotony is where winners are separated from wishers. The middle is boring. The middle is repetitive. The middle is quiet. But the middle is where success lives. Consistency builds identity. Here is something powerful. Consistency doesn't just change your results. It changes your identity. If you read every day, you become a reader. If you exercise every day, you become a healthy person. If you keep your promises every day, you become reliable. You are not what you say you are. You are what you repeatedly do. And identity drives behavior. The more you act consistently, the more natural success becomes. Emotional stability. Let me tell you something important. Consistency requires emotional stability. You cannot be governed by moods. If you only act when you feel like it, you will live a very small life, because feelings change, weather changes, energy changes, circumstances change. But your commitment must not. The amateur waits for inspiration. The professional shows up regardless. If you want professional results, you must adopt professional consistency. The danger of stopping. Here's the tricky part about consistency. It's fragile. You can build momentum for months and break it in days. You can build trust for years and lose it in one moment of carelessness. You can build health for a decade and undo it through neglect. Success loves momentum, and momentum loves consistency. Once you stop, starting again is twice as hard. The compound effect. Let's talk about money for a moment. If you save a small amount every week consistently, what happens? It grows. Not dramatically at first. In fact, at first it feels insignificant. But over time, it becomes powerful. Consistency turns pennies into prosperity. Now reverse it. Spend a little more than you earn consistently. What happens? Debt compounds too. Consistency does not care which direction you choose. It multiplies whatever you practice. Relationships and consistency. Relationships are built the same way, not through grand gestures, but through consistent kindness, consistent listening, consistent respect. If you only show love when it's convenient, don't be surprised when love weakens. If you only apologize when forced, don't be surprised when trust erodes. Consistency builds security, and security builds strong relationships. Health and consistency. People ask me, Jim, what's the secret to health? There isn't one. Eat reasonably, move daily, rest adequately, do it consistently. You don't need heroic effort. You need daily effort. The body rewards rhythm. The body responds to repetition. Miss a day? Fine. Miss a week? Trouble. Miss a year? Consequences. Success is boring. Let me say something you may not hear often. Success is boring. It is doing the same right things over and over again. It is not glamorous. It is not dramatic. It is structured. Waking up at the same time, studying the same way, making calls every day, tracking numbers every week, reviewing goals every month. Consistency removes chaos. Chaos destroys progress. The discipline of review. One of the great disciplines is review. Most people set goals once a year and forget them. Winners review daily, weekly, monthly. Consistency in reflection prevents inconsistency in behavior. If you don't measure it, you drift. If you don't review it, you forget it. If you don't correct it, it compounds. Showing up. Let me make this very practical. If you want to change your life, do this. Show up every day. Show up when you feel good. Show up when you feel tired. Show up when you feel discouraged. Show up when no one applauds. Because here's what happens. When you show up consistently, people notice. Trust grows. Opportunity grows. Skill grows. But more importantly, self-respect grows. You begin to believe in yourself. Not because you succeeded once, but because you kept going. Consistency and character. Character is built through consistency. Integrity is not proven in a single moment. It is proven over time. If your words and actions match consistently, you are trustworthy. If they only match occasionally, you are unpredictable. And unpredictable people rarely lead. Consistency builds credibility. Credibility builds influence. Influence builds opportunity. The long view. Here's what gives consistency its power. Time. Time magnifies everything. The question is not what can you do today, the question is what can you do every day? Because anything you do every day shapes your destiny. The man who reads 20 pages a day becomes educated. The person who saves daily becomes financially stable. The athlete who trains daily becomes skilled, not because of talent, but because of accumulated effort. The courage to continue. Consistency requires courage, not the courage to leap, but the courage to continue, to keep going when results are invisible, to keep practicing when applause is absent, to keep building when growth is slow. The early stages of consistency feel unrewarding, but growth is happening beneath the surface, just like roots before the tree appears. Guard your standards. Consistency depends on standards. What do you tolerate? What do you allow? If you lower your standards, consistency collapses. If you protect your standards, consistency strengthens. Your standards determine your actions. Your actions determine your results. Final thought. Let me leave you with this. You don't need to be extraordinary. You need to be consistent. You don't need to do everything. You need to do the right things repeatedly. You don't need a breakthrough year. You need disciplined days. Because days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. Months turn into years. And years turn into a life. And when someone looks at your success, they will say, "You're lucky, but you'll know the truth. It wasn't luck, it was consistency." Thank you.